XRP Ledger adoption is about to surge in Japan as Ripple forms a huge partnership that you need to know about, and Deutsche Bank is looking to launch its own stablecoin. It seems all the financial institutions are looking to do the same thing. And the SEC makes some interesting updates that signals they could approve XRP, Cardano, and other altcoin ETFs very soon. I'll give you the details. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as a thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, we have some breaking news. Ripple, they just announced that they and Web3 Salon, supported by Jethro, are launching a new partnership for Japan-based Web3 startups, open to early stage teams building on the XRP Ledger with a focus on DeFi, tokenization, and payments. So let me give you the details from a full article they published today, and it says, Unlocking Innovation in Japan. Ripple partners with Web3 Salon to support the next wave of digital asset startups. In a powerful step toward accelerating blockchain innovation in Asia, Ripple has partnered with Web3 Salon project supported by Jethro, Japan External Trade Organization, and powered by the Asia Web3 Alliance Japan, a prominent Web3 startup ecosystem and strategic enabler in the region. This new collaboration reflects a shared commitment to nurturing Japan's digital asset ecosystem, an environment known for its deep technical talent, strong regulatory frameworks, and increasing appetite for innovation in financial services and tokenized assets. They said, as a part of the partnership, Ripple will offer grant funding of up to $200,000 per project over the next year. This initiative is part of the XRPL Japan and Korea Fund and Ripple's broader 1 billion XRP commitment to provide financial, technical, and business support for developers and startups building on the XRP Ledger. The funding will be awarded to a select group of early-stage startups based in Japan that are building on the XRPL, particularly in use cases like decentralized finance, tokenized real-world assets, and digital payments. So folks, this is really great. We are in a race, and many blockchain projects and companies are looking to position themselves in different parts of the world to get as much adoption globally, right? I mean, this is common sense. So Ripple having a foot in the door in Japan with SBI, which is a massive bank conglomerate, I think this makes sense for them to continue to, set up the infrastructure there and get folks to build on the XRP Ledger. And obviously you want to offer some of these developers incentives, so giving them grants and so forth. So very smart move on Ripple's part. And I've often stated, blockchain and crypto, this is a global asset class, and you can be in any part of the world and you just need a smartphone and internet connection and you can participate in the asset class. You can go on chain and do different things. There's never been anything like that in the history of the world. And obviously this asset class runs 24/7, 365 days. There are no opening and closing bells. There's no nights and weekends. There's no holidays, right? So that's what makes it unique. And that's why you see BlackRock and all these big firms globally are looking to put TradFi assets like stocks and other commodities on the blockchain. They're going to put real estate on the blockchain as well. So we're going to have truly global markets. And this is going to open up new opportunities, secondary and tertiary markets, and much more. So big move here by Ripple, and I think we're going to see a lot of chess moves from these big players, the folks at ETH, folks at Solana, obviously Ripple, and the XRP Ledger. So really great news if you're an XRP holder. You want to see building, you want to see expansion and all these things. And even for other tokens that you hold, this is the type of activity you want to see. So really, really great stuff here. Now, folks, we got one user by the name of Marty Party. I've shared some content from him in the past, and he's seeing some filings and approvals by the SEC, which is giving indication that could potentially lead to the approval of spot ETFs very soon. What we've been tracking on this podcast is that the futures markets went live, right? For XRP, Solana, and more, and that we needed more time for these markets to be up and running so the SEC has a sample size. Now, I don't make the rules. When I interviewed Hester Peirce many times, she said, this is not a mandatory thing, but it's almost like way of doing business, so to speak, because they did it for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I think they're going to do it for XRP, Solana, and much more. So he says, and another SEC filing includes approval of Solana XRP ADA in a basket fund. That's the second. In my opinion, June 5th, the SEC approved Sol, XRP, and ADA as commodities. Grayscale's Digital Large Cap Fund LLC, a K form, filed Friday, includes the following text, the same as the Hashdex Crypto Index ETF did. Here's the text. As of June 5th, 2025, the fund components consisted of Bitcoin, Ether, Solana, XRP, and Cardano. The fund components were weighted as follows: Bitcoin 79.32%, Ether 11.97%, Solana 2.93%, XRP at 4.87%, and Cardano ADA at 0.19%. Now, Marty says, in my opinion, these three assets have been approved by the SEC as commodities, and we can expect all their spot ETFs to be approved in the coming days/weeks. We shall see. I don't know if this is something that is legitimately going to happen, but I don't think it's far-fetched. I don't think it's outlandish. I still think the SEC may want to see a bit more time for the futures market, but I could be wrong. The deadline, as many of us know, is still in October, but I could see the SEC approving it earlier than that for sure. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't think it's a matter of if, I just think it's a matter of when. I think these things are coming. The SEC is absolutely pro-crypto. They've wrapped up a bunch of lawsuits that involve these assets. Obviously, the Ripple lawsuit has been put to bed. The SEC capitulated. Just Judge Torres, she's going to figure out the paperwork, but the market knows this thing is over. The SEC is not after Ripple anymore. And guys, I think these ETFs getting approved are going to bring a lot more liquidity into these assets, obviously, right? You look at what it did for Bitcoin and Ether. And in fact, there's some reports here about Ether's spot ETF, where Nate Geraci of the ETF store said 15 straight days of inflows into the spot Ether ETFs, $820 million in total. He says category now at the highest cumulative inflow level since July 2024 launch with 3.33 billion. So you see Ether is starting to pick up steam, and eventually you're going to see XRP and Solana have their day in the sun. And I believe the overall best performing index ETF over the next few years will be the top five, where you have, excluding stablecoins, Bitcoin, Ether, Solana, XRP, and things like that, or top four, top three. So I think majority of people are going to go that direction. But until then, you're going to see each of these spot ETFs get their respective inflows. One of the things I've been saying is when the SEC approves staking in the Ethereum ETFs, that's going to cause a lot of inflows into the ETH spot ETFs. So keep an eye out for that. Now, Nate also gave a prediction saying the crypto industry IPO ETF filing incoming. I think this makes sense. We're seeing a lot of crypto companies looking to go public. Circle obviously went public. Gemini, the crypto exchange, they filed to go public with the SEC this week. So the puck is heading in this direction, and I think everybody recognizes what's coming. And in fact, Eric Balchunas of Bloomberg reported that the UK is lifting a ban on crypto ETFs so retail can now buy them. So you see what's happening here? The on and off ramps being set up globally. And folks, I made the prediction in Q4 of last year, or actually Q3, that I believe China at some point in this bull market is going to open up crypto trading, not just general crypto trading, but crypto trading via the ETFs, which have already been set up in Hong Kong. And I believe Hong Kong has been the testing ground for these ETFs, which have been successful so far. So Hong Kong has been a big leader in the crypto space as far as a city or a region, and it's under China's control. So I think China, they're not stupid. They're gonna open it up. And remember, one of the problems China had with crypto is that the capital flight risk, where people were putting their money in Bitcoin, moving it out the country. China doesn't want that. Well, with the ETFs, guess what? It just stays there. So it would make sense for them to do this. So keep an eye out on that. Remember my prediction. I made that prediction last year in a newsletter, in multiple newsletters. I think I mentioned it, but I think that's going to be a big signal that could be maybe signal the top of the market. I don't know, or put us close to that blow off top, right? So let's keep an eye on it. Folks, a great place that you can buy sell, and even stake crypto is on Uphold. Uphold is a platform I've been using for years, since 2018. They have over 300 plus cryptocurrencies. They offer staking on 19 plus cryptocurrencies. Folks, I've been using them for a long time. I've never had any problems, any issues. They're pretty easy to use. They're reliable. And best of all, they are fully reserved. They don't commingle or lend out your crypto assets. You can review their transparency report. It's there for you to download and take a look at it. And Uphold offers a variety of services. They even have a great rewards program where you can earn up to 5.25% on stablecoins. This rewards program allows you to get 24-hour early access to new tokens. They support Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin. You can get 5% on that and 5.25% on USBC. Now, I interviewed the CEO. We went through the process of how are they getting the yield. They're not doing any shady stuff. They're doing it the legit way. So this is a safe program to use. So how do you participate? You just open the app once per month, deposit $50 once per month, and trade $50 once per month. Pretty simple. And you get some really nice yield here on some stable coins. So if you'd like to learn more, visit the link in the description. Now, folks, look at this news. The Deutsche Bank considers stablecoin or joining industry-led initiative, executive says. The bank is also weighing a tokenized deposit system to make payments more efficient as regulatory clarity and pending legislation accelerate stablecoin adoption. Folks, over the past couple of days, I reported to you that about what Uber's CEO said about they are looking to integrate stablecoins. A report from Fortune magazine said Apple, Airbnb, Google, and others are looking to integrate stablecoins. See where we're headed, folks? All paths lead to crypto, blockchain, stablecoins, and much more. This is the new technology. It's what I've been telling you guys for years ad nauseum. I'm sure many of you are like, Tony, you keep saying the same thing, but look, it's coming to fruition, folks. This is like the internet, but it's the next layer on the internet. So go study the S-curve adoption of the internet and internet companies and internet technology. You will see similarities here. And this is going to move much faster because we're building on faster infrastructure with smartphones and faster computers, faster internet speeds, 5G, all that stuff, right? Broadband. I don't think I need to explain all that to you guys. So there's no stopping this train. The train has left the station. The genie's out the bottle. So things are moving in the right way. So this is incredible. So the firm's efforts are part of a larger trend with major U.S. banks also considering launching a joint stablecoin to compete with the cryptocurrency space competitors. That one last line I've been telling you guys, right? This is why Gensler and Elizabeth Warren were fighting so hard against crypto, trying to kill these crypto startups so that their bank TradFi Wall Street buddies can come in, because this technology is how the markets, the economies, and governments will function. These are the rails that these things will be running on. And this is why the old grandma, Elizabeth Warren, was going so crazy about crypto. Just think about that. With all the other problems the United States has, she was so hyper-focused because she's being lobbied by Jamie Dimon and the banks. And of course, her dog on the leash, which is Gary Gensler, and she had her cronies at the Fed and different places. That was the whole thing, so that JP Morgan, BlackRock, and all these guys can catch up, and you see what they're looking to do now. We just reported that this week, JP Morgan's going to launch financing loans against crypto ETFs. Why would they do that? Right? Jamie Dimon says this is all a scam, Bitcoin's crap, blah, blah, blah. He continues to say these things, but yet his bank is going all in, building these services. Why? This is the future. Now, he's going to put out the smoke and mirrors because he doesn't want anybody to front run him. He wants to catch up. He wants to get as much of the market as possible. And then he'll change his tune. And he'll just ride off into the sunset and won't say anything while his bank continues to build and make money off of it. So I'm glad I'm here early. I'm glad I recognize these things early. And it's amazing to watch the capitulation from the people who were against this technology. And, there's a saying I've shared many times. First, they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, right? Gensler, Elizabeth Warren, then you win. We are in the then you win phase. Now, moving ahead, Tether's CEO snubs IPOs, says $505 billion valuation is a bit bearish. So, of course, people were asking Tether's CEO, hey, are you guys going to go public? Because Circle went public. But Tether honestly doesn't need to. They're minting incredible revenue and profits. They're one of the most profitable companies in the world. They have this huge market advantage, first mover advantage. They are way ahead, way bigger than Circle, who's not even close to catching up. But with stablecoin legislation coming in the United States, that could be very favorable for Circle, who may be able to catch up. But it's going to take them some time to catch up to Tether. Tether has a massive dominance globally. So Arduino addressed valuation speculation raised by Artemisys CEO John Ma, who claimed that if Tether, which is behind the stablecoin USDT, were to go public, it would rank as the 19th largest company globally with a valuation of $515 billion, larger than multinational giants like Costco and Coca-Cola. So Arduino called the $515 billion valuation a beautiful number. He said it might actually be too low. So Tether's been doing a lot too with gold and much more. So let's see how this all plays out, folks. But competition is good. Competition is healthy for the market. Now, Paulo Arduino, CEO of Tether, also tweeted out the following, which I thought was very interesting and an indication of where things are headed. He talked about AI agents. He says they won't have bank accounts, they won't use emails or centralized IM, or I guess that's instant message, won't depend on cloud providers, but they will use Bitcoin and stables, will communicate with real-time encrypted multi-sig channels, will live on devices. Very interesting. I think AI agents are going to be a big part of the economy moving forward. And to his point, they're going to use stablecoins, crypto assets, blockchain rails, because they're going to operate autonomously, where they're going to do their thing. You program them to do something, and they're going to be doing it 24/7, 365 days, and they're going to need to transact very quickly. So what do you need to transact quickly and settle instantly? Stablecoins or even other crypto assets. So really, really interesting stuff here. And I'm looking on this front to see how I can create some AI agents that can help me, help you guys, and even if I can monetize it in some way. So just being transparent with you guys, this is something I'm looking into. Now, look at this news. Argentina Anti-Corruption Office clears Javier Milei in Libra crypto promotion scandal. Of course he got cleared. Oh man, I think at one point he closed down the government section or the section of the government that was handling this. It's obviously rigged, right? What he did was wrong, but who's going to hold him accountable? And this is the thing I don't like, man. Some of these guys taking advantage of crypto and promoting meme coins and scams. And I've often said I don't like President Trump's meme coin. They shouldn't embrace that. They should get rid of it. But look, all I can do is voice my opinion and tell people, hey, I don't think you should invest in that. But you're obviously free to do what you want. But meme coins, very, very risky. Now, final news item, and it's around the Worldcoin. Many of you know I don't hold a Worldcoin. I find the process of getting your retina scan a bit dystopian. However, Worldcoin recently got a ton of financing. They raised a massive round of money, and that could really help them in building out things and help the valuation of the token. But here's the headline. World Foundation, Tools for Humanity unveil World Build 2.0. So World Network, known for its eye-scanning orb that verifies human accounts for its mobile super app, is launching the next phase of its developer incentive campaign. World Network is managed by World Foundation and also involves corporate entities such as World Assets Limited and WorldChain LLC. For-profit blockchain product developer Tools for Humanity is overseeing the development of the World app. Collectively, World Foundation and TFH are working with crypto events DAO FWB to host their next event for builders, World Build 2.0, in July, according to Release Tools for Humanity, shared exclusively with the drop. Tools for Humanity Chief Product Officer Tiago Sada was one of the first edition's judges. So similar to what Ripple is doing in Japan, World Network, I don't know which one to call them now, but they're setting up, incentives and grants and things to get more people to build on the blockchain. But look, I understand what they're doing. I like the mission, the way they're going about it, though. I've said it before, I don't like it. What are they actually doing with the data? When they scan your retina, is there a third-party auditor that has come in and said, hey, they are securing the data. They're not selling it. They're not you doing it something nefarious with it. We don't know this, right? And so this is why I am not getting my eyes or my retina scanned. But they've gone to different parts of the world where people are like, hey, I can get free tokens. Why not? Right? I'm gonna scan, and I get it. Some people are in a bad financial situations in different parts of the world, and they'll gladly do this to get some money, which is understandable. But we got to watch out. I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's something that is part of the World Economic Forum and some, once again, draconian type setup. I don't know. It just looks and smells that way sometimes. And once again, I don't know. So I'm just telling you guys as much as I know and what my thoughts are. But we'll see how this plays out. I'm going to try to get someone from Worldcoin or World Foundation on to talk about this and get to the bottom of where is that data going, right? That are taking from people, because and I think some governments had pushed back on this at some point, but it doesn't seem like it got anywhere. But anyway, I'll try to get somebody on to talk about this. Folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't as yet. And a great way you can support me in the podcast, folks, is by subscribing to my free email newsletter. It is 100% free. Link will be in the description. Check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital. And check out my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you every aspect of crypto. So check it out. It is packed with a lot of value. So visit mycryptocourse.com to learn more. Folks, thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.